Hello and welcome to Health Check from the BBC. Now, if I asked you to guess what tops the list of health concerns in Chile, I wonder what you'd say. COVID maybe? Well, that comes second. Obesity? That comes third. But in a recent Ipsos survey, it was found that mental health was people's main health concern. In Santiago, a charity called the Itaca Foundation is trying to improve mental health by reaching across the generations. They're pairing up vulnerable younger people who might have grown up in care or spent time in prison with much older people. For Health Check, our reporter Jane Chambers has been seeing how it's done.
I'm part of this reintegration programme. I was having real problems and I was told that this would help me.
That's 23-year-old Ana Ruiz, who along with other young people comes to this community centre in La Granja, a poor neighbourhood of Santiago, every Friday, where she joins some senior citizens. Chileans like Ana call them the grannies.
I was all alone with my baby, who was then just 4 months old. The people here gave me a support network. But what really helps is talking with the grannies. We have tea together and discuss all sorts of things. All of us young people can't wait for Fridays to come here and chat with them.
So there are lots of people that you can probably hear sitting at the table. We've got brightly coloured crayons and orange paper because the theme today is making decorations for Halloween. We've got children, young people, older people, all working together in this workshop. Outside in the garden, where it's quieter, Anna tells me more about the activities.
We work together in pairs. Every young person teams up with an older person, and it's great because they have a completely different point of view to us. And we learn from each other. We share ideas and they teach us a lot because they are very wise. They have taught me to be more patient, to work hard and to respect people. I've never spent time with older people before because I don't have any grandparents, so this was new for me.
Many of the young people taking part in the programme come from children's homes and have become institutionalised. Others, like Anna, come from families with violent backgrounds, and most of them have spent time in prison. But like the rest of the old people I spoke to, Maria Eugenius Rivieros is adamant they shouldn't be judged on this one aspect of their lives.
I think they've made mistakes, some big ones, and some of them have had a lot of problems. But we all make mistakes, and they deserve a chance to get back into society. Some people say, why are we mixing with people who've been in trouble? But for me, they've made mistakes, and now they have got the chance to make things right.
And the workshops have really helped Maria with her loneliness.
Life was so boring before. Every day was the same. I would get up and do the housework, have lunch and sit down to knit, all alone with my thoughts. And here I've met so many new people, it's great. It's like coming to another world. During the pandemic, I got really depressed. I lost my job, but if you go to the doctor to talk about your mental health, they just give you pills, medicine for the day, sleeping pills at night. And I don't think it helps. The best thing you can do is get involved, have activities. After lunch, I didn't bother to tidy up because I was so keen to get here.
Unlike Maria, some people do benefit from medication, which they can use alongside programmes like this.
Getting help for mental health issues is very expensive in Chile, and the waiting lists here are so long, it's hard to access specialists. That's a big issue we find with the young people that we work with.
Pamela Bravo is a social worker who works for the Itaca Foundation on this reintegration work, which aims to create supportive relationships between the older and younger generations, something which is missing from many of the young people's lives.
Many of them have had mental health issues since they were young, and they've been on lots of medication. One of the reasons for this is because they've been so institutionalised in children's homes, or they've come from broken homes and find it difficult to manage their emotions. That is something I think this project is really helping them with. They form relationships with older generations, people that they normally don't have contact with.
And it's not just the younger people who benefit. Patricia Raya looks at least 10 years younger than her 70 years, and she laughs and says that people always tell her that. So I see you in your chef's hat and your white apron looking ready for a workshop. What are you going to do? Estoy diciendo que la veo en su uniforme y todo eso. ¿Qué estás preparando?
I'm doing a cake making course and learning how to make a complicated and popular Chilean cake with lots of different pastry layers.
So they're baking cakes and they're in a pair, and one of them is busy grating a lemon while the other one is beating the eggs and the flour, and you can probably hear the cream being whipped up at the end. Discussion about how much lemon to put in the cake mixture at the moment. Before coming here, Patricia's life was very different.
I started coming here a year ago. I live on my own in an old people's community and I felt very lonely. But here I feel happy. They're so affectionate towards us. They give us attention and respect. We feel valued.
The need to feel valued and listened to is something that's important for all of the people I spoke to as we sit outside in the garden in the hot spring sunshine. One of them, Benjamin, is 18 years old, and he tells me that the workshops have changed his life for the better.
My mental health was on the floor. I felt like I was worthless, and sometimes I thought about suicide. But now I feel much better. I really enjoy spending time with the old people and helping them. They make me feel loved, and I feel like a better person.
The project's social worker, Pamela, is happy with the changes she's seen in the participants' mental health over the past year.
I think the workshops have really helped to repair the emotional damage and loneliness that both the young and old people have suffered. It's been really beautiful to see the relationships they've formed. They all feel like they're part of a family, and working together in pairs has really strengthened that. I think we've proved here that the projects like this could tackle mental health problems in other parts of Chile.
The project only has funding for this year. It's difficult to get long-term public funding for projects like this in Chile, but after seeing all the positive effects it has on the community, they're determined to try and keep it going.
Jane Chambers reporting from Chile. You're listening to Health Check from the BBC. I'm Claudia Hammond.